Lisa, congratulations on such an amazing evening earlier this week. What are your thoughts on the winners?
Well, it's always interesting from one year to another. We have lots of changes in the guide every year, and it's always a surprise for me because I'm not personally dining out as regularly as I'd like to, so I'm not totally knowledgeable as to which restaurants are doing really well, but it was lovely to obviously have changes, but yeah, really great to have a completely new restaurant as number one.
So was it a surprise to many people?
I think not, because it has a reputation. It's had a reputation for a number of years now, so I think with people who are, the gourmand would probably say no surprises there. It's well known to be a good restaurant, and the chef is well known to be a very good chef.
Le, huwa premju li inna naħdmu għalih, ovvjament ferħanin li plejsjajna fl-ewwel post. L-ewwel darba li rbaħna, ħdimna ħafna liha, ġifieri t-tim u kulħadd bil-front of house, kulħadd, imma ovvjament ferħanin li ġejna l-ewwel.
Vera kontenti li rbaħna, ħafna xogħol u dedikazzjoni. It-tim kollu ħadem għaliha, ġifieri kontenti ħafna bis-suċċess.
Iva, kienet sorpriża. Kulħadd jaf il-kompetizzjoni l-ewwa u Malta, ġifieri llum kibret ħafna kompetizzjoni u qatt ma stennejniha ġifieri.
Le, kienet sorpriża. Ifhimni qed jagħmlu xogħol veru tajjeb it-tim kollu. U kienet reward tajba ħafna lihom li ħadna dan l-unur.
It's a beautiful setting, so it has all the right ingredients to be number one, really. So,
what do you think of the chef? We've spoken to him already today. What do you think of him?
I don't personally know him from his food as well as others might, because as I said, I don't dine out at all the restaurants. It's a survey-based guide, so that dictates as to which restaurants it's the clients who are rating them. But I have heard his reputation precedes him. He's a well-known chef, local chef. He's obviously worked abroad in he was just telling us he's worked in London in very well-known restaurants and in Dublin. So he's obviously brought all his talent back to Malta, and so yeah.
So you'll be coming to visit?
I am, definitely. Yes. It's on my list.
Naħdemaw minn mindu ftaħna, ġifieri 2022, ħanibdew it-tielet sena. Ovvjament bdiet il-karriera tiegħi żmien ilu, żgħira, u ħdimt xi postijiet hawn Malta, u mbagħad komplejt naħdem barra minn Malta. L-ewwel mort Londra, ġifieri fejn għamilt naqas skola hemmhekk ukoll, mbagħad komplejt naħdem. Mbagħad immuvjajt Dublin u wara ċertu żmien ġejt hawn Malta. Londra ħlimt ġo restorant 2-star Clove Club u ġo restorant li qabel ix-xef kellu 3-star Pierre Kaufman. Ħdimtu ukoll ġo post li jifoka fuq ikel Taljan ukoll Luka. Ovvjament huwa ikel partikolari, ġifieri li huwa differenti minn ħafna stili. Ninspira ruħi minn ħafna affarijiet, kemm minn kodba, kemm xeffijiet li niffollow barra Malta u fejn kont ħdimt qabel. Ovvjament dejjem titteqpa' ma' trend li da bħal kull ħaġa fil-ħajja titteqpa' ġifieri the game. U bil-qari u mbagħad bejt tmur tiekol barra minn Malta, ġifieri titteqpa' dejjem.
Fil-kċina qegħdin 3 chefs u għandna kitchen porter, u front of house qegħdin 4. Għandna sommelier, restaurant supervisor u 2 chef de ranks.
passjoni kbira, niddedikaw ħafna ħin mis-sijat tagħna hawn ġew. Meta ħadd ieħor ikun jiċċelebra aħna qegħdin hawn ġew, imma kieku ma tkunx tħobbu x-xogħol ma tagħmlux.
ħafna training, impjegajti professjonali wkoll, ġifieri għandhom esperjenza ġo ristorant oħra ta' dan il-livell, u training u l-passjoni, ġifieri daw jiġu għax-xogħol u għandhom passjoni li ħatu l-aħjar servizzu.
And for the lampu guitar tar, you have the lampu guitar tar on top of some pomelo bowl, as well as around you have some horseradish beurre. And for some acidity, you have the elderflower and jalapeno liquor dressing.
Lovely. It looks amazing. Thank you very much.
Steve jiġi bideja ta' dish, jipprepara, induquh fl-imkien, u ġilna l-isma Steve, da nuqsu naqrek, mejl għandek raġun per eżempju, u nimxu fl-imkien.
Da-żminijiet il-menju jkun iktar baffarijiet li għandhom x'jaqsmu ma' tat-tip ta' żmien. Fejn eżempju nużaw ħafna eżempju venison u game jiġifieri, hair, nużaw ħafna affarijiet li ovvjament nippruvaw naħdmu mal-istaġun.
Għandna mix ta' kollox, għandna corporate, għandna turisti li jiġu Malta holiday u rridu jduqu fine dining imma b'ingredienti Maltin, allura dak huwa suq tagħna wkoll, u għandna min qed jiċċelebra okkażjoni speċjali. Qed tifhem, ġifieri ma nistax ngħid li din ġo kategorija waħda, imma il-gestan huwa mħaltin.
Fil-kastana naħseb li għandek nies li jiġu u jieħdu esperjenza ta' menju sħiħ u għandek nies li jiġu u jieħdu menju qasir ngħidulu aħna. Imma on the whole kulħadd jiġifieri meta kieku konna naqsmu naħseb l-iktar li jimxi huwa tasting menu. Għax naħseb huwa post fejn tiġi biex tieħu isek esperjenza.
Fil-fatt il-wine listani hija varjata ħafna. Għandna ħafna nbit Malti wkoll, għax Malta nagħmlu nbit ta' kwalità wkoll. Mbagħad għandna nbejjed internazzjonali, ġifieri Franċiżi, Taljani minn Wales, ġifieri mill-Awstralja, minn Ċili, mill-Arġentina. Hemm varjazzjoni. Il-turiżmu l-aħjar li jkollok varjetà, ġifieri ftit massa u ftit kwalità. Ġifieri li jkollok tolqot iżek il-but ta' kulħadd. Xaw ħafna hotels li huma 3 stars, 4 stars. Mbagħad tolqot ukoll pereżempju l-hotel bħal tagħna li hija 5 star plus u ristorant tagħna, ġifieri jkun hemm mix ta' kollox. Malta għandha bżonn minn ftit minn kollox. Kwalità u normali, mhux daqshekk kwalità.
Naħseb dix favorit li naħseb l-iktar li għandha qalbi naħseb huwa l-fenek, għax barra li huwa favorit tiegħi huwa xi ħaġa lokali li qed nużaw ta' pajjiżna stess. Deserti ovvjament hemm ħafna tipi, speċjalment meta tkun tħobb il-ħelu. Ovvjament ċikkolata nħobba ħafna.
Dejjem on the go, fimli hotel u ristorant quite demanding. Imma xi ħaġa li nħobb ixir nagħmilha ġieri xogħol u passjoni.
What about the other winners? Could you give us an overview of the other winners?
Yeah, I mean, some of them have won awards year in, year out, and so that they're consistent. So we always have the Mondion in the Shara Palace is always there. They're vary, they vary from, there's a few in Rabat who did well this year. Rabat's a little gourmet gastronomic area. So there were 40 commemorative plates that were awarded, and we had new restaurants and restaurants that had been in previously. So they're all rated, really highly. Their clients obviously are rating them highly, so they're doing well. Yeah.
What do you think of the overall standard of restaurants in Malta?
It's gone up over. It was 25, 26 years now in publication and doing so. There's massive changes over the years. It's just incredible, really, how it's changed. We've got such a wide choice, not just typical. In the past, we would have a lot of Italian restaurants, French cuisine potentially, and now we've got so many different other international cuisines. Also winning awards as well. So there was quite a few Indian restaurants. There were 3, I think, this year who won awards. Other cultures as well. So it's become a really a gastronomic centre in that regard, and international and varied, much more so than it would have done all the years back. So it's amazing, really.
How do you see the restaurant industry moving forward in Malta?
It's an interesting one. There are so many restaurants on the islands. From the official figures, apparently it's 2,600 restaurants. Now that might not necessarily be, 5-star restaurants. It could be cafes. It could be smaller.
Still a lot of restaurants.
It's still a lot. You just think, how is that feasible? How do they manage? But seemingly they are. I think it's just about, focusing on a bit on the quality aspect of things. I think those are the restaurants that are going to survive ultimately. Just to keep the standards up there. And the other thing which we've been promoting with our company is the sustainability aspect. So I announced on the evening, working together with another company from Switzerland, to encourage restaurants to become more sustainable. There's a definite move in that regard. So restaurants who, the local government, they'd like to promote restaurants to encourage restaurants to use more local produce, fish, local produce, and to use that more. Tourists are travelling, wanting to eat local more.
Do you think in Malta we do support the farmers enough?
I think there's still room for improvement in that regard. So I think that possibly not as much as they'd like. I think that needs to be taken into account. I think they need to look into, consider that and bring that onto the menu more.
Nbidlu l-menus skont l-istaġun, ġifieri jekk tiġi x-xitwa nużaw ħaxix tax-xitwa, ħut li nsibu fix-xitwa, laħam nsibu fix-xitwa, ġifieri nbidlu skont l-istaġun. Steve huwa veru kreattiv, allura jipprova dejjem jivvinta xi ħaġa ġdida, dejjem għandu dik l-enerġija li nbidlu u nagħmlu xi ħaġa innovattiva. Fimni dik hija il-bażika tal-kuċina tagħna, Bħalissa għandna l-fenek bħal wieħed mill-main courses, fenek Malti, qed inġibuh mant raħħal partikolari, ġifieri qed jitma' l-fnik tiegħu ikel organiku, ġifieri naturali. Ħut li nsibu frisk, ġifieri ċappullat, spadri. Għandna l-aġin ukoll, l-aġin bil-ġbejniet, ġifieri qed jagħmel tip ta' aġin bil-ġbejniet. Dak bażikament huwa l-menju tagħna bħalissa. Inti meta tuża prodott lokali huwa l-iktar prodott frisk. Meta inti qed tuża ingredjenti ġejjin minn barra, sakemm ma jaslu qegħdin jitilfu mill-freskazza tagħhom. Allura meta jirnexxina nsibu prodott lokali dejjem aħjar. Ġieli ma nsubux ikunu nużaw prodott ta' barra, imma nippruvaw nużaw kollox Malti. Għax din nitilfu l-identità tal-bdiewa raħħala Maltin ukoll jekk ma nużawhomx. Daw ħajspiċċaw mingħajr negozju. Allura is-sapport tar-restaurants huwa importanti.
I know it takes you a whole year to plan the event every year.
Yeah.
So when do you start planning for next year? And do you hope to do something that's different from this year?
So we'll start planning at the beginning of next year and looking at how we're going to approach the year. We've got our website, which is constantly being updated with events in Malta. So we're always working on that, changing that and looking at that. And we're looking at promising new restaurants all the time and seeing who's opening and what's going on in the restaurant industry. But the project that I would like to we are planning to work on this year is a sustainable certification for restaurants, to assist restaurants with that, because we really believe that that's definitely needs to be focus from the local point of view, but also for travellers coming to Malta and taking that in regard. And so that's a project that we have on the pipeline this year. So.
How would you describe the winners of this year, briefly? For somebody who's watching, how would you describe them?
Well, it's a fantastic scenario they've got. It's a niche boutique hotel with a lovely 24 covers, apparently, tiny restaurant really, but really particular, with a tasting menu and a menu that changes according to the season. So lovely, you know, in that regard, really different. It's really focusing on the quality, zooming in on the quality and that experience.
And I think focusing on the guest, the customer,
yes.
Perhaps a personal.
Yes, I mean they got the highest rated
level
for food and the highest rated for service, and obviously the ambience is beautiful as well. So they're covering all aspects of what voters vote for. So they've ticked all those boxes. And you know, dining out is an expensive thing to do these days. It's not, you don't just go out and eat regularly as you may have done previously. You need to, you know, to be selective about where you're going to eat. And if you know you're going to come to something that's you're going to be treated well and you're going to eat well, you're more likely to to visit that place, aren't you?
Dublin ma' persuna jisimha Michael Viljanen u l-iktar persuna li nħares leħ li xi darba u nammira naspira li nkun bħalu. Riċentament kellna ikla for Hands Dinner hawn Malta, ġifieri wkoll għandu 2 star, tippuxxja xi darba jieħu 3 star. Nħares leħ ħafna u dik l-aspirazzjoni tiegħi.
Komplu naħdmu kif qegħdin għaddejjin, ġifieri biktar ikel innovattiv, servizz nippruvaw dejjem intejbuh, ġifieri nibqgħu għaddejjin it-triq li qbadna. Ovvjament il-gowl tagħna huwa li nkunu fil-Michelin Guide, naħseb hija xi ħaġa li kull xef jixtieq. Imma l-iktar ħaġa importanti li l-klijent joħroġ iktar ferħan milli daħal. ġejt number one ġo Malta u għanuru, it's quite an achievement too. We're very happy with the outcome.